Hi Ryan, JR Noble here. I help struggling music producers finish professional sounding tracks through individual one-on-one coaching in person and through videos and online training courses. My question for you if for somebody who has is in startup mode, who has gone through your Choose Your Market training and has been putting products into the marketplace, what would you recommend for somebody who is who is looking to decide if it's time to move into a different niche or to continue to try and test out products because the products that I've been putting out I feel like haven't been resonating with the market just yet. So maybe testing new products. Also because I've found that people have been telling me that $19 and $27 is a stretch for their budget. So that's my question for you.
JR, thank you so much for the question. In other words, the question is, when do you decide whether to test selling a different product in your niche or pivot into a whole new niche altogether? Well, one of the biggest failures that I've had in my career was trying to build a marketing education business in the pest control niche. You see, at the time, I was studying an expert who had built a marketing education business serving the self-storage industry. And I tried replicating that model, selling to pest control operators. But what I discovered in that process was that there were a few key differences between those two markets. Self-storage operators first require a huge upfront investment to build their facilities. In other words, these are well-capitalized investors and entrepreneurs. Second, after they build their facility, there's not a whole lot of operational work that they need to spend their time on. They just need a light staff to watch people coming in and out, but not a whole lot of daily maintenance. And what that means is there is a lot of time available to spend on marketing, learning marketing, and growing their business. Now, compare that to pest control operators. On the other hand, pest control operators can get started for just a few $100s worth of pesticide and an old truck. And they have to work 12 hours a day just to make ends meet. And oftentimes it's them doing the work. They're going from house to house, spraying for pests, and only a few ever graduate to having a team of operators doing that work. And what that means is not only do they have almost no money to invest in marketing because they're just working to make ends meet, but they also have no time as well. Now, as crazy as it sounds, it took me nearly a year to discover this and well over $100,000 invested in this business. In retrospect, it seems so obvious, but at the time, I didn't want to let go to the work that I'd put into the business up until that point. Now, contrast that with another scenario where the first product that I created was in a completely different niche in the orchid care market, which is my first real successful business. And the first product that I created in that space was a guide on how to water your orchids. This guide sold 0 copies. Now, the question that you want to ask to figure out if you should cut bait and move on, or if you should pivot into a different product, is as follows. If you follow the ask method, when you've looked at your deep dive survey results, the question you want to ask yourself is, are there pockets of hyper-responsive customers that you may have missed? You see, that was the mistake that I had made in the orchid business. I was looking at the survey, I was analyzing the results, and I missed that there were these pockets of hyper-responsive prospects who were telling me what it is that they needed help with. And I stopped selling the How to Water Your Orchid guide and instead created a product that served their needs. That is when the business took off. The second thing that you want to look for is as follows. When you've run your Do You Hate Me survey, asking people why they didn't buy, have you gotten feedback around creating a different product instead? Now, when I asked this in the pest control market, the answer that I got was akin to, I'm so busy, I don't even have time to market at all in my business. And that's when I realized that no matter what product I tried creating, no matter how amazing my website was, no matter how amazing my copy or my content was, it wasn't going to solve the underlying issue of giving them enough time and space to even think about getting out from under houses, getting out of the attic, and working on their business instead of in their business. Whenever you make the decision to pivot into a different business, to pivot into a new market, it's one of the toughest decisions that you make as an entrepreneur. But hopefully these two examples, JR, give you some insight into when you should decide to pivot towards selling a different product versus pivoting into a different market altogether.